Hello and welcome to Adrenal Repair. I'm Stephen and today I'm going to talk to you about the distraction method and how to make it work for you. Okay, so I get a lot of people ask me, how did I recover from depersonalization and panic disorder? And I can't nail it down to one thing because I tackle it from many angles. Okay, mainly I dialed in the DRESS protocol, D-R-E-S-S. I talk about this in a lot of detail in my Depersonalization Explained series. So if you haven't seen it, go back, check those videos out. Dial in the DRESS protocol. DRESS stands for diet, rest, exercise, stress reduction, and supplements. That holistic approach to your lifestyle is what's going to lower the stress on your system and start building the body back up. Okay, you got to get this body good and strong to face a recovery, because facing a recovery is going to be stressful. All right, we're getting out of our comfort zone, and while we're repairing the body and getting it strong again, we want to distract ourselves, because that's the problem with depersonalization. We keep ourselves, and panic disorder, we keep ourselves in this loop. We're worrying about the future. There's a lot of anxiety, and just the sensation of just been going so deep into the mind is a terrifying experience. So by distracting ourselves and repairing our body is a great way to kind of get us out of our mind, and then as the body starts repairing, we can slowly start coming back, and eventually you'll be on the home straight to your recovery. So let me explain this flow psychology, because I say I get a lot of people who had success with distracting themselves, and then others just saying that no, they didn't notice anything and it didn't help them. And hopefully this will make sense to why, if it didn't work for you in the past, hopefully this will make sense why it didn't work, okay, and how you can approach it. So I got this idea of flow psychology from this book called Flow. It's easy to find. I'll put a link below on Amazon. I can't pronounce the guy's name, okay, you can see it's a pretty big East European name. I won't even attempt it, but do check out the book. So what is flow psychology? The flow state is when we're lost in whatever the task is that we're doing. We all experience it. We're given a job to do, or we could be playing a sport, and 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour passes just like that, and we're like, where did that time go? Okay, and studies say that people who spend more time in this flow state are generally happier people, and they're usually very active people, and they're doing many different sports and just keeping themselves busy the whole time. And they found a way of finding a challenge that is just at their skill level, okay? And that's the secret to the flow state. So on the left here, you got your challenge, and then at the bottom, we got the skills, okay? So the challenge goes from low to high, the skill also goes low to high. Now, if you got a high challenge, okay, let's say you start a new job, it's very challenging, and you're not cut out for, the skill levels aren't up to par yet, and so the challenge is nice and high here, you'll realize that you'll experience a lot of anxiety, a lot of frustration, and you just won't want to be there. Okay, same thing as if you learn, let's say you start try a new sport, for example, you've never played it before, and say, okay, I want to try some new hobbies. If the challenge is too big, if the teacher doesn't know how to break the challenge down to your skill level, and it's too much of a challenge, you're going to experience anxiety and again frustration, and you won't want to do that sport. You're like, nope, that's not for me. And then over here, if the skill level, so if you're over skilled for the challenge, you'll get bored. So this is like, let's say you're throwing a ball with a 5-year-old, and just throwing the ball back and forth. After a few minutes, you're going to feel pretty bored. But for him, that hand-eye coordination, trying to catch the ball, could get him in that flow state, and he could keep throwing that ball maybe for an hour or more, and you're trying to find a way to escape because you're bored. And what happens is he's getting himself into that flow state, he's enjoying it, he's having fun. So when it comes to distracting ourselves, we got to find ways on how can we make the challenge just right and match our skill level. And this is where, if you're going to look into starting a new hobby, it could be dancing, it could be martial arts. For me, I have a background in martial arts well before I experienced depersonalization, but I kept that up. For me, that's a great way to get into that flow state. I also, while I was dealing with depersonalization, I started hand balancing. I found myself a really good hand balance teacher, and I had no real interest in hand balancing. I just knew it would take a lot of time and a lot of focus. But he found ways to keep me in that flow state. At the very beginning, when my skill levels were low, he gave me these small challenges that an hour, the workouts were an hour long, and the hour would go by so fast, because he knew how to, as my skill levels were improving, he would up the challenge and he wouldn't allow me to get bored or frustrated. Okay, so he kept me in this flow state, and now this is years later, I'm still practicing hand balancing. Rock climbing was another one. Okay, so I just found ways to keep myself in that flow state. Since learning about this method, this flow psychology, it's changed everything. I'd try, it doesn't matter what it is. If I find a good teacher, I'll give it a go. I'm not, like, again, I'm no interest in learning the piano, but I know if I get a good teacher that can get that challenge to my skill level and get me in that flow state, I'm going to have fun learning that piano. But it's hard to find a good teacher, so you might have to put some work in, but it's definitely worth exploring. But you can also find challenges yourself. So whatever it is that you might do, find ways to kind of make that challenge match your skill level. Another thing I picked up just to practice during the day was juggling. And I just used YouTube. I got a good tutorial that was just at my level where I was just starting off, and I found it keep me in that flow state. I practiced it for about 10-15 minutes each day. And again, this is all just helped to get me out of my mind. That's what I want to do with this. It's get me out of my mind and live that DRESS, D-R-E-S-S protocol, so my body can repair and recover from all the damage I put it through, and then keep my days busy with experiencing flow as often as possible. Hopefully that makes sense, and do dabble with it. Like even small things like washing the dishes. Washing the dishes isn't the most exciting task. It's pretty boring. Okay, you're over skilled for it. No one finds washing the dishes difficult. But you can make it more challenging by trying to do it standing on one leg. So you're focusing on your balance now while washing the dishes. And that's one way to start kind of dabbling with this and kind of experience a little bit of flow. Just be creative with it. Have fun with it. I recommend buy the book, read the book, and experiment. So that's flow psychology. If you have any questions, do shoot them below. I'll do my best to get back at you. Hopefully that made sense. And talk to you soon, guys. Take care.